Hello, it's Simone, and it's day 5 of 30 Inks, 30 days. Today, I just received a package from my friend Marilyn, who offered to send me this Shown Design Pocket pen. Wow, that is amazing. Marilyn, if you see this and I haven't sent this back, if something's wrong with the nib, I can replace it with a medium Yovo nib. And so I decided that in order to get the writing experience with this pen, yep, some inks leaked in the package, so I just cleaned it up. It was greatly well packaged, and only 2 inks leaked, but that's what this is. I cleaned them all up. They're drying now. There's enough ink left, so nothing to worry about. But it is still before the San Francisco Pen Show when I filmed this. And so because I'm going there especially or particularly to try out some of Ian Schoen's pens, I thought this would be the best opportunity to ink this up with the 30 Inks 30 Days ink for day 5, so I can do my transcription project with this pen and I can see if I like writing with this or not. Yeah, and that's exactly what I should be doing at 4:40 on a Wednesday when there's back to school night at 6 p.m. at my son's high school. And I'm also supposed to send a package to my daughter, which I'm almost done. I just need to write the letter. That's where this pen comes in. So, enough talk. I'm going to mix up the inks that I'm going to use this month. I pre-selected them all. I will definitely have a link to the video where I chose them very randomly, and I put them all on paper, cut them up. I'm putting them in here, and now I'm picking one. I'm not looking. And the color that goes in here is Abalone. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that choice. I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't like the experience, but this works. Let me check for the ink. We already have the pen. Abalone, where are you? These are all the inks that I have selected. That is Chennai. Nope. 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 Still the same. Maybe this one? Yes. This my friend Amy gave me. Almost all of the inks that I have are from Amy, as we all know by now. And then I need this and a cartridge. Yep, this one works. Here is a cartridge, an empty one. This was a Pelikan cartridge. I'm going to put this on here. Oh, this has a nick up here. Is that a problem, or is that not going to be a problem? Let me check if I have another one. Yep. There's multiple ones. This one is still a little bit green. This one looks really good, so I'll just take this one. I'm gonna ink this up. I'm totally confused. I don't remember how I do this usually. So here, and then I will also dip the pen into, or dip the nib into the ink so we can get to the ink faster. Yeah. Yep, it's on there. So the pen looks like this. This is how small it is. And then you have the cap that screws on the back. And I will put the name of this pen design on the screen. She wrote it in her letter, but I already forgot. So I'm going to put this, where am I going to put this? Upside down right here. That worked really well. Maybe like so. Oh, yeah, like so. Let's fill in this first. Oh, water would have been nice too. I can get some in a sec. So this is Abalone. It is a Troublemaker ink. And I have received two samples that look extremely different. This one that Amy gave me leans towards purple, or that's what the chromo shading does when it's drying, at least in all the swatches that I made. And the other one that I received from Naomi is chromo shading towards teal, which I find really interesting. So I did not mix them together. All right, I think that's okay. Let's open this notebook. This is a Hobonichi Techo Avec. I'm using this as an ink journal, ink diary, whatever you want to call this. And I am putting an ink swatch, the name of the ink, the name of the pen, the day that it is, and I also put in all the other pens that I have inked. I just started this at the end of July, so it's not been a long time coming, but I think I'm going to do this also in 2020. What is next year? 2024. Okay, so where do I put this all the way to? It does look like a cloud. I feel like when it's going to rain or there's a storm coming, that's what this color reminds me of. And I really like it. I know that this is a favorite of many people. I have seen this around everywhere. So I'm not surprised because it's really pretty, but I haven't really gotten to use it yet. I just haven't really. I always found other inks that I thought were more interesting, especially since this is very similar to many of these chromo shading inks, but it's darker, so that's cool. Okay, there's cats in boxes. If you have cats, isn't that the favorite place of every cat? I saw an experiment where somebody just made a rectangle with tape on the floor and cats sat in there. So let's see how this works. What is it? Troublemaker. So I need to make sure that I distinguish between the nib and the pen, because the nib is a medium Jowo nib, but it feels really stiff, which isn't a problem because that's not what this pen is. What I'm looking at is how does it feel in my hand? How is the grip section? It's quite narrow. How narrow is it actually? I know this is just an ink video, but I'm curious, so you just need to bear with me. Let's do on off. Okay. 0. Then let's open it and put it right in here. Wow, now I can't see. 8.96, so that's really narrow, and especially if I compare it to what is comfortable in my hand. It is not just the grip section, it's many things, but I really prefer grip sections that are about 10 millimeters or even bigger. So then this is shown design. Is this a pocket 6? I'll just write pocket pen. Pen, aluminum, and this is a medium nib. All right, I'm going to transcribe with this, and I will let you know what I think when I'm done. So it's the morning, and I transcribed and used this pen in my journal. Here is what the transcription looks like. I inked this up and then I let it sit for a couple of days before I wrote this. As you know, I'm pre-filming, so that's not a surprise that this might happen. It was quite dark when it came out of the nib, and again, as before, and I just have to accept the fact that this is happening more with 68 GSM Tomoe River paper for me, that the writing experience isn't the most pleasurable. It is okay. The pen writes, it doesn't feather, there's no ghosting, and also there's a person mowing the lawn across the street, so we'll just have to deal. It doesn't bleed through. Everything is good on that front, but for some reason when I write on this paper, oftentimes it feels like I'm writing on a really hard surface. And compared to other papers, that is not the case. Like if I use 52 GSM Tomoe River paper, it feels really soft, like I'm sinking in. Cosmo Air Light, for instance, is on the other extreme where it feels like you're wading through mud. This is more like I am writing on a chalkboard. It's really hard, and for some reason that translates immediately into my arm and my like right here, and everything hurts. And I mean, yes, that's my weakest point in my body right now, but that is just something that happens with this paper. And especially when the pen or nib isn't super extremely wet, which is exactly what happened with this combination. I am glad I was able to try this pen, but it's definitely not one that I would purchase and add to my fountain pen collection. And I'm so grateful that I was able to try this without having to spend money. So here is what I wrote. I don't know what I expected, but this ink and pen were not a great match. That is also something that just wasn't ideal. Sorry, I hit my camera. The ink, I tried to research after I wrote with this if Troublemaker Abalone is a very dry ink, but all the websites say it's medium flow. So it's not super wet, but it's also not supposed to be super dry. And so that was weird because it felt very pale. That was not what I was expecting. I thought it was more vibrant for some reason. And I seem to be drawn to more vibrant colors in general. So what else? The whole time that I wrote, it felt like it would stop writing any minute. The color looks super different to what I see online. Online, I see this hinting more, even in the writing, it hints more green, teal green, greenish teal. But there's nothing that even reminds me remotely of that color that I see online. Yes, I know it might be just my monitor. It might be the way the images were taken on the other end. So I'm not sure. The pen is okay. trying this pen completely scratched my itch to own one myself. I'm so glad that, wow, sorry. I'm so glad there are people trusting me with their pens. So yeah, that was this experience. I'm glad I was able to use it. Probably not the perfect ink for this pen, so maybe with a different ink it would have been a more pleasurable experience. But overall, my personal goal for all of my fountain pens in my collection would be to be able to put any ink into any of the pens. I know that is a very generalized statement and that doesn't work. I'm just gonna remove my cap right now. That doesn't work with all, but overall, I would love for this statement to mostly be true. I think that's what I wanted to say. Thanks so much for watching. This is day 5. I still have so many more days to go, but I'm really enjoying this. And I'd love to hear from you what you are doing, if you are participating in 30 days, how it's going for you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.